Are you ready? Oh, you're on there. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this meeting of Denby Parish Council's Planning Committee. It's the 2nd of April, so no jokes. It's the 2nd of April. We're in the community centre as usual. And welcome to the members of the public who have joined us. And welcome colleagues. So members of the public will have an opportunity to speak to us shortly, but first we need to do some domestic business. So the first item on the agenda is apologies. And we've had apologies from councillors Brown, Hall and Langford Smith. We note those. Item 2 on the agenda is declaration of interests arising from this agenda. Members and officers are invited to declare any relevant interests. Notwithstanding this item, members may subsequently declare an interest at any point during the meeting. Anybody got any declarations of interest? Councillor Carson?
Declare personal interest in confidential enforcement report relating to Hideaway County Fans.
Okay, so that's under confidential. Okay, thank you. Anybody else? No. Okay. Item 3 then on the agenda, minutes of the previous meeting. Receive and confirm the accuracy of the minutes of the planning committee meeting held on the 19th of February and the 12th of March. One of which was deferred last time because there weren't enough people here who had been at the February meeting. So I would show of hands then for those who are happy with the 12th of March. Is that right? Yeah, all right way around. Yeah, and also the 19th of February for those that were here. Right, okay, thank you very much. I shall sign the copies of those then. Okay, that's the minutes done. Item 4 is the Planning Committee's project report, which has been circulated. Has anybody got any comments on the report? And, no, okay, thank you very much, Lucy.
Yes.
Just noticed you didn't have your papers. Okay. So we're on to section 5, the public participation session. The meeting will recess for not more than 15 minutes to allow members of the public to address the meeting. I shall shortly go through the list of applications in front of us inviting comments. And also any comments on anything else on our agenda that people wish to speak about. If you are here for a particular plan, or even if you don't wish to speak, please let us know, because we don't make you stay till the end. We'll adjust the order so you don't have to sit here too long, unlike the rest of us. So, there is rules to this session which I will ask our committee clerk to read to you.
The Parish Council, via this committee, comments and makes recommendations on planning applications affecting the parish. Proceedings during the public session, which will only exceed 15 minutes in exceptional circumstances, must remain under the control of the chairman, to whom all questions and comments on applications or other planning matters must be addressed. All comments on planning applications should be made to the Head of Planning Management at Winchester City Council.
Thank you, Lizzie. Okay, so the first item on the agenda, or the first case on our agenda, is number 1 is Mr. and Mrs. James' application at Hiltonbury Forest Road for a first floor dormer extension. You have to be careful saying that. Does anybody wish to comment on that one? Is anybody here for that one? Nope. Okay, thank you. Number 2 is Mr. and Mrs. Toogood application at Malmain's House, Hambledon Road, for a proposed single-storey side extension and rebuilding the existing boot room with pitched roof. Anybody here for that one? No. Okay. Good. Number 3 is Mr. Clayton Ross's application at the Ramblers, Uplands Road, for a single-storey rear extension, gable roof to the front left-hand side of the property, oak-framed porch, first floor front windows and first floor side windows with obscure glass. Anybody here for that one?
Yeah, that's us.
Okay. Do you wish to say anything about your application? You don't have to.
Just happy to listen.
Okay. Thank you. Number 4 is Mr. and Mrs. Will's application, Hayden Cottage, or possibly Hidden Cottage, Kidmore Lane, for a proposed single-storey rear extension, elevational changes throughout the existing property, pitch roof modifications allowing for a dormer and glazed gables to be formed, new vehicular access to allow in and out access from Kidmore Lane. Anybody here for that one? Okay, do you want to say anything to us?
No, we went through this before,
Yeah.
and we went to Winchester, but we had to withdraw the application because we didn't have a bat survey. So we had to wait till bat season, which is in May, and we've got it booked for May.
Okay, thank you. Right, that's number 4. Number 5 is Mr. Austin's application at Carley, Hambledon Road. Proposed single-storey rear extension to replace existing conservatory with revised fenestration. Lovely word. Nobody here for that one? Yes, sir. That's you. Yeah. You wish to say anything to us?
No, not really. Happy to listen.
Okay. Thank you. And finally, then, number 6 is Mr. and Mrs. James at Hiltonbury again, which is a change of use of land from agricultural to a mixed use involving agricultural and equestrian use, erection of a storage maintenance barn and a stable block. Nobody for that one? Thank you. There was nobody for the first one by the same applicants. Okay, thank you very much. Is there anything else on the agenda that members of the public wish to mention to us? No? Okay, thank you very much. So, members, if we're happy, then we'll take numbers 3, 4 and 5 first. And so we'll therefore close the public session, and we will now go into considering these applications in front of us. And the first one then is Mr. Clayton Ross's application at the Ramblers, Uplands Road. It is for, as I've already, things will be a little slower tonight because I'm having to do the computer work as Councillor Langford Smith, my usual assistant on that front, isn't with us. So this is for a single-storey rear extension, gable roof to the front left-hand side of the property, oak-framed porch, and first floor front window and first floor side window with obscure glass. So Ramblers, Uplands Road. Those of you who know Uplands Road, Ramblers is a house next to the large plot of land which is having 3 houses built on it, Little Linden Lee, and just trying to place it for you. I shall show the location plan. It's there we go, Linden Lee, which is no longer has those two buildings. Go away, I don't worry about spelling errors. To the left is down towards Dirty Lane, and this is effectively on the right as you come up, Uplands. It's the first set of buildings on that road. I shall show you some plans in a second. Where are we? Existing block plan. Right. Okay, so show you existing. Right, you can tell them how to practice at doing this, can you? But, existing rear and front elevations, existing side elevations coming, proposed elevations also coming up. So, we have two existing side elevations, not surprising, the house has two sides. It doesn't want to let me turn this around. Apologies, I'm struggling to turn that around. That's the existing front elevation. And that's the existing rear elevation. I'm sorry you're having to turn your head sideways. I can't get the computer. And these are that's the proposed rear with the extension at the back, and the proposed front, that's with the gable, the front window and the oak porch. I think those more or less sum it up. Unless somebody's got any comments? Yeah.
Chairman, looking at the block plan and knowing what's taking place at Linden Lee and looking at the neighbouring properties, I can't imagine there's any material planning reason that this would be rejected. I propose that we make no objection.
Okay. Is somebody got a second? Seconded by Councillor Jones. Okay then. Show of hands for those who have no objection. That's unanimous. Okay. Well, there you go, Mr. Ross. Okay. Doesn't mean it'll go through because it's Winchester makes the decision, but we're not objecting. So good luck with it. If you don't have to sit here. Okay. Cheers. Okay, so we're now on to Hidden or Hayden Cottage, Kinmore Lane. Which is it?
Well, we call it Hayden, but we inherited a name, so.
Good pronunciation.
Yeah. Okay, the proposal, this is quite a fairly complex one. I took a couple of photographs in actual fact when I delivered a notification the other day. For two main points. One, part of the application is to add another entrance so there's an in and out. So I took a photograph of the house with its hedgerow in front of it. So that can be seen and the other one from the driveway. It's not as useful, but that's the current entrance. Okay, I'm just looking at my notes. I think it's more or less show everything. Okay, hopefully. Zoom that in a little. So this is Kidmore Lane, and as you can see, Hayden Cottage is just across the road from Kidmore Farm. The application it basically is to add a chunk on the back of the house, both round out floor, adding some dormers in the rear, and as we saw last time, I think some solar panels to the south and some increased fenestration to the front. That's the proposed south and west view. Trying to get it larger for you to see. So that's the bit basically looking down towards Hambledon Road with it on the side of the house with the solar panels. This is the new rear extension and effectively windows, dormers effectively in the roof line. And then that is the proposed front with some changes there, including, and that would be from the north side view. Quite a bit to take in. So this is the front, proposed filed tile installation following removal existing dormer, revising the gable, proposed clay tile construction to matching the rest of the property, double glazed insulation to front elevation allowing for maximum natural light into the bedroom, low level cant brick dwarf wall with timber posts there, and a white UPVC window and door installation throughout proposed extension. There's a garage shown there, which is not really affected by this. And the other point is here. This is the current entrance. Just try and blurring that up a bit. And they're proposing a new entrance there. You can see the garage here, and there's parking spaces here, and the driveway will go through to allow egress and access without having to fiddle around too much inside. I'm not sure there's that. We have seen this before, but I'm not sure whether there's much else. Is there any questions from members or suggestions of things I've missed? I think that shows it rather well there. No? Any opinions then?
I think that actually improves the house quite considerably, tightens up the elevations a lot. I can see again, much as the previous one, no real clear reason to object.
Okay, somebody want to second that?
Second.
Okay, no, okay. Both councillors Vickers and Berry. So we have a proposal then for no objection. Have a show of hands then, please. And that's unanimous. Thank you very much. So good luck with that, Wills Wills.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your time. Thank you. Good luck.
And then the next one, with our visitors present, is Carly Hambledon Road, which is across the road from here. In the little cul-de-sac, or full of bit there. Sorry?
I saw them walking over.
This is for a single-storey rear extension to replace the conservatory with revised fenestration. We'll open up these and have a look. So there is the plot and proposed single-storey rear extension shown, and there's Hambledon Road, and over here is where we're sat. Existing plans and elevations at the moment. As you can see, there is a small, looks like a pair of lean-tos effectively, at the rear. And the proposal is for a replacement rectangular extension with a roof light and what looks like I presume is the usual folding doors that are all the rage. And that's basically it. I notified the neighbours. One neighbour is the house that's just been completely rebuilt, effectively inside, and that's it. And I'm going to say it this time. I can't see any material reason why we would object. So I propose we. Sorry, councillor. So was somebody going to second that? Yes. Oh, seconded. Yeah, sorry. All right. Okay. Show of hands then for those with no objection. Okay. Thank you very much. Getting old. Good luck, Mr. and Mrs. Alston.
Thank you very much.
Yes. Yeah. Good night. Cheers. Okay. Where are we now? Okay, number one is Hiltonbury, Forest Road. We've had a few for this one recently, and there's two tonight. But this one is a straightforward request for a front first floor dormer. I had to say it twice now, haven't I? And just bring up the drawings. That's the existing. You can see it's yeah. That's the front. That's the side affected by the by the dormer. So this is the proposed piece here with the dormer, and it shows it here as well on the. I got that right. Yeah, the east element, yeah. So it's just easiest just to look at the south elevation. Although it's slightly different sizes on the screen. Let's add this bit. Any questions? So, Okay, thank you, Councillor Berry.
I propose we don't object.
Councillor Berry beat you to it.
Yes. I second it then.
Okay.
You're next.
So pointed out it's the 2nd of April, ladies and gents, not the 1st. Show of hands then if you have no objection for this application. That's unanimous. Thank you. Next time, Councillor Clay. Where are we? Number 2, Mulmain's house. Mulmain's house is about quarter of a mile just over up the hill from here. It's not quite opposite where the chicken farm used to be. Its entrance is slightly staggered, but that's where it is. I took a photograph or two people to look at to remind them. It's it's an interesting house because it's got a overhang most of the way round. I've not been in the back, so I can't be sure that it's there as well. But yes, it's almost a colonial style, or you can imagine it being in India. But, no. Anyway, that's to remind you what it's like. And I'll just pull up the. So there's the. That's the location. And I say that's the former chicken farm. Alexandra House is the large house next door with the interesting roof line. Existing and proposed elevations. I think actually it's probably easier just to see. Basically, that's on the site plan. It's a small extension along the side up against the boundary with Alexandra House. So that's the existing elevation, which I think this is the boot room that they refer to revamping, and basically there's a small extension going just there. You can see the effect on the front view on that part of the diagram there. I don't know if you shall I blow it up a little. And that's the view from the rear. Councillor Ranger.
It's not listed, is it?
I know if it were listed, we would have had a separate application for a listed building consent as well as a planning application.
And no feedback from the people on the...
None that was when I looked earlier. Sorry, Councillor Pickles?
I was quite surprised that there'd been no feedback. Could you let us on their boundary line?
There's vegetation and fencing in the way. And that is slightly lower down the hill. So it's... I mean, I did put notification into that, and houses on either side. But I say it's on the hill, slope of the hill, so that one is set down below the level. So I can't say for certain that they won't notice it, but yeah. Councillor Clay.
Well, I had a look at this one actually, and I quite like it. It's a good proposal, it's tucked out the way. I believe there's no objections at all from the neighbours.
No.
So with that in hand, I don't see there's no reason to object. Now fight your second.
Can we have a little more decorum, please? Thank you. Show of hands with no objection. That's unanimous as well. Thank you very much. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5. Number 6. We're back to Hiltonbury down Forest Road. I don't know if I mentioned where it was earlier. It's
No, I don't know. I can't find it.
sorry. Yeah. the previous application was fairly straightforward in that sense. Hiltonbury is, as you go down Forest Road, you go past Lower Crabbick, and as you go up the hill, it's the third dwelling on the right, the one that recently had its driveway moved. Sorry?
There's an old tractor in the driveway.
I'll take your word for it. I looked at the house and I didn't look at the tractor in the driveway. Anyway, so yes, it's there. It's effectively the last dwelling before you get to World's End, which is obviously over the rise. And this application is to put in a storage stroke maintenance barn and a stable block in the land to the north of the house, more or less to the north anyway. At the moment there is a mobile field shelter for the horses owned by the household, and the application is for a change of use from agricultural to agricultural and equestrian, because they want to put in a barn and a stable block. Never quite understand why it needs an application, but particularly when there's been animals and horses on there already. But anyway, but this is for two new buildings. So we'll have a little look. Bear with me a second. The only thing that's coming on this one was today I found an environmental health assessment, which had the usual things like how are they, before they're allowed to put horses on there. We need to be satisfied with how they're going to remove what the horses leave behind, and things like that. So there's fairly standard. No, they weren't objecting. It was just a fairly standard clauses they want to see. So
But there's no change in the number of horses because they have horses anyway.
yeah, well, it doesn't mention any change of number. It just says, but I'll show you the stable block in a minute. It's not. So here we have the block plan showing that's the new driveway into the house, and that is the route down to the fields at the back here, where they propose on the left, as we look at it, the barn, and on the right the stable block. I notified the residents, particularly of the house here, the next one down, I think is Woodlake Cottage, insofar as I put a notification through their door. Haven't heard anything. They are quite a drop down from Hiltonbury's the house and Woodlake Farmhouse, because their driveway drops quite a way down. But I wouldn't like to comment on whether or not they will be affected. That's up to them. Proposed stables, as you can see, not exactly large or in number, and a I wish I wouldn't put figures in pale red like that. That's 4 metres tall. While I was trying to see. So it's effectively three stables there, and the equipment store barn is thus. And shows us a tractor in one end and a workshop and a store in the other half. And it is 7 metres wide. And 5.6 metres tall. No, those are the facts of the matter. And as I say, it's down the hill from all bar the house next door. Councillor Berry.
I'm just wondering, this is a question, are they going to have more horse boxes in there? And the other thing is, come winter, because it's questions, are they going to put lighting in there?
Glad you mentioned that, because that was one of the things that the environmental report said. The environmental health report said there should be no external lights at any time. So to avoid the light pollution, I'll find that document in a second.
I'm concerned about the traffic trying to turn into that and that, horse boxes and stuff like that.
I can't answer other than it's a brand new entrance that's recently put in with two double metal gate, which I was surprised to find swung away from me as I drove up to it. So there's
12 foot,
sorry.
they're 12 foot each, aren't they?
They're a fair size. Yeah. I wouldn't like. Having just driven through them twice, I wouldn't necessarily like. But anyway, coming back to the comments from the environmental health. I have no adverse comments to make regarding the application. I would ever suggest the following conditions. No external lighting, whether freestanding or affixed to a structure, shall be provided on the site at any time. Details of the facilities for the storage of horse manure, stable waste and its means of disposal from the site shall be submitted to and approved in writing by the planning authority before the use of the stables is commenced. The facilities shall be provided and thereafter maintained in accordance with the approved details. The applicant is advised that the preferred method of disposal is the frequent removal. Burning of manure is not acceptable. And if any time the premises are used for hiring of horses, including riding establishments, a licence must be issued by the Environmental Protection Team under the Animal Welfare Licences of Activities Involving Animals England Regulations 2018. This includes any business for the keeping of horses to let them out on hire for riding or for use in providing instruction in riding for payment or both. So basically, the environmental health people, I think, have tried to cover everything with the possible exception of the horse boxes driving onto the new driveway. Councillor Jones.
They have 3 horses at the moment, and the stables they put in are for 3 horses, so there's not going to be any increase in traffic. It doesn't appear in any way that they're looking to become a centre for equestrian, and if they are, it needs to be an awful lot bigger than it is at the moment. And the main building is agricultural storage of machinery.
And one of the things that there is a... Sorry, I noticed your hand, Councillor Carson. Under the planning statement, it says there is a small barn there at the moment, which is not of much use to us, and there's a planning application in to convert it to accommodation and exercise equipment place. So we haven't seen that one yet, but we're aware of it now. Sorry, Councillor Carson.
Indeed, I was going to say that they have, within the planning statement, it does say the current barn is not in the right position for their future plans, which they do also state that those future plans include extending their pig and sheep products, and presumably this barn is better situated to.
Well, I mean,
I can't see any reason that this would be rejected by Winchester.
Okay. Councillor Clay.
Yeah, I don't see a problem with it at all, so I think we shouldn't object. I'm happy to go ahead with it. Perhaps with the added suggestions and conditions, can we put them forward at the same time? And,
Well, what would you wish to add?
They need to comply with the, sorry.
Yeah, I propose no objection
Yeah.
to the added conditions or suggestions.
Well, that will go in. The environment health report will go in automatically. Yeah. So we have a proposal for no objection. A show of hands, please.
We didn't have a seconder.
I thought you had, but
No.
all right.
I
Okay.
seconded.
Yeah. Unanimous. Thank you.
And she's a
Excuse me while I close the computer down.
A lot more hassle when Kevin put through.
Sorry?
There's a lot more hassle when you're with the chairman and the computer.
Yes. Yes. I was expecting that. Yeah. Anyway. Moving on to number 7, which is decisions received. And I need to put it up on my other screen. Note that Tour Haldon Road application to replace a stable block with an L-shaped block for use as extra games room and storage. We objected, but it's been permitted. Yeah, as we said, there's another building in the garden and there's no sign of any extra parking. Okay. Broadview Cottage, Kidmore Lane, use the converted garage as fully independent dwelling house, including creation of separate curtilage. This was turned down by Winchester. It went to appeal, and the planning inspector has turned it down as well, more or less on the same grounds that Winchester did. Basically, that it's outside the development envelope. Number 3 is Rush Mills Forest Road application. That's one we saw twice and didn't object to either time. So those are the decisions received so far. New planning applications, I don't think I've seen any yet. No. Yeah, which could be a bit of relief. We've had a fair few in the last couple of weeks. So we won't hold our breath because it's 3 weeks to the next one. Discuss and determine action on content to be added to social media. Well, we normally put up our conclusions, which is no objection 6 times tonight. But is there anything else we can think of? No, leave it at that, if you wouldn't mind, Lucy. And matters for the next agenda from anybody? No. Well, you can always email Lucy anyway. And confidential report. Councillor Clay moved. Thank you. You get the hang of it. Okay. Wait for Lucy to